everyone, Cindy here from Usborne Books. I'm going to be sharing with you some tips for raising readers, so I hope you'll get a little bit of valuable information out of this. I am going to start with the Read Aloud Handbook by Jim Trelease. This is not an Usborne book, but I really wanted to be able to share it with you because it is a wonderful resource for parents and for teachers. It has some insightful statistics in it. It has great information on how to help your child grow as a reader, and he also shares lots of recommendations on books that make wonderful read-alouds for children. And this book actually contains the answers to our trivia questions as well. One question was, what country has the highest reading scores? And believe it or not, that country is actually Finland. And the reason for this is not because they have a particular reading program, not because they have teachers that start teaching reading at a certain age. He accredits it to the fact that for them to be able to watch a lot of their TV programming, they need to be able to read subtitles. So that is actually something that you can do with your children when you're watching TV. You can go ahead and turn on the closed captioning, and that gives them a little bit of extra practice with reading. The other trivia question that I had was, there was a study done and 100% of kindergartners said that they were interested in reading outside of school, but fourth graders, there was only 54% of them that were interested in reading outside of school. And there's lots of reasons this could be happening, but Jim Trelease talks about how by the time children get to fourth grade, they're pretty proficient and good at reading all by themselves, and parents stop reading aloud to them. So he recommends, no matter how old your child is getting, no matter how good they are at reading, to continue reading aloud to them. This creates a wonderful opportunity to bond as a family, and it also places a good value on reading. The next tip I have for you is advertise. We are advertised to everywhere, and this is exactly what you can do with reading. You can advertise to your children by putting books everywhere. You can put them in the playroom, in the living room, in the bathroom, in the backseat of your car, at the breakfast table if they're not too busy when they eat. Another good place to put books is next to your child's bed. If your child's like mine, he doesn't like to go to sleep at night, and so we just tell him that he can look at books until he gets tired, and that has helped. When you are placing books around the house, it's a good idea to put these books in bins or baskets. The reason for this is when they're in bins and baskets, your child can see the front cover of the books and they can easily flip through them and pick one out. And this makes them more accessible for the kids and more likely to pick them out. The next tip I have for you is to have an incredible home library. When you think about Olympic skiers, they tend to come from places with an abundance of snow. So we want to make sure that we have an abundance of books so they have lots of opportunities to practice. When you're picking out books for a home library, talk with your child, see what they're really excited about, see what they're really interested in, and see if you can pick out books where your child is going to want to pull out time and time and again. And that's actually what I love about some of the Usborne books, is that some of the elements that they have, the flaps and the textures and the shine of light and the content of them, they really draw kids in, and it makes them want to read them again and again. And that's definitely an important element of books that you want to have in your household. And then another thing to think about is finding a series of books that your child is excited about. Whether it's chapter books or picture books, having a series of books gets your child really excited about the characters, and they really are invested in them, and they get excited to read those books and to find new ones. So those are some tips for creating a home library. And then the last tip I have for you is model. It's so important for you to model reading in front of your child. It can be recipes or magazines or newspapers. And also, there's reading everywhere. There's billboards and things in the grocery store, and it is so great to model reading those things in front of your child. We naturally, subconsciously do it and just read it in our heads, but try reading it out loud so your child can see, oh, there's words everywhere that I can read, and it gives them more practice and gets them really excited about reading. So I hope you got a little bit out of my tips for raising readers, and please feel free to post some ideas that you have. It's always wonderful to hear what ideas other people have, and I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you for joining me.